our live stream. My name is Bobby Umar. I'm here with the amazing Brenda Meller, and we're going to be talking about LinkedIn company pages, how to grow your audience, how to know it. And we do this every month, the second Wednesday of the month. And I'm happy to be here. I'm a professional speaker by trade. I focus on personal branding for clarity, focus, and direction. And then I help people build a thought leadership brand through storytelling, content creation, public speaking, TEDx talks, and building meaningful relationships. That's what I do. Brenda, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I am a fan of the Bobby Umar. I'm a part of the Bobby Umar fan club, I should say. And to build him on, I mean, I come from a corporate marketing background, but what I do now is I solely focus on LinkedIn, and I help people get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie through individual coaching, training. I actually just finished a team training before coming on. That's why we're a few minutes late here. And then I do, I've been doing master classes. I wrote a book on LinkedIn, and I'm just having an absolute blast. And I'm doing some things with company pages lately. So I'm delighted to be on here with you, Bobby, and with sharing some new insights with our audiences today.
Awesome. And I know we like to start our show by just saying how we're doing with the page views or the invites. So, I checked mine. I have 7 outstanding invites. We now have 250 invites per month. Yeah. So I sent them all out except for one, and then I basically had a bunch of people accepted, and so then now I have about 7. So that's where I'm at. Where are you at, Brenda?
So I am at 32 out of 250, and I was at 100, and then this past month they increased it back to 250 again. Bobby, did you know though? I was going through my inviting my connections to follow my page. Do you know who wasn't following the Meller marketing page yet? Bobby Umar. The person, what? Bobby Umar, was not following my page yet.
Did you ask me?
I did. I invited you. I don't know if you saw it in there. And by the way, guys, for those watching, if you're not already following the Brenda or the Meller marketing page, as well as the Bobby Umar page on LinkedIn, we invite you to visit the page and follow it. You don't have to wait for an invitation. You can come on over to the page. And then if you're not yet following, it will say follow when you click on that. If you already are following it, it will say following on there. So right now I have 32 out of 250. What I was thinking though, Bobby, is like 250 can feel very overwhelming and very daunting. But let's say you take that 250 and you've divide it by 10 invitations a day. That's pretty manageable, right? You could send 10 invitations a day for 25 days. That's pretty
absolutely easy. Although what I'd like to see for LinkedIn people, the LinkedIn gods above, what I would say is, just like we have the invites for 2 things. One is the invites for events. There's a filter for a location and industry and things like that. And then I select all. That it makes it, whereas one at a time is really, really time consuming. So I'd love to have a way to have a select all for the ones. And then more specifically, really specific targeting around keywords and things like that would be great. Because if I want to invite only HR people to be part of my my page, or people who like coaching, those are the people I want to invite, because my page, Bobby Umar Leadership Development, is all about coaching. So that's what I want.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it does take some time. And, if I were to ask, if we're going to put our wishes on the table for LinkedIn, another one of my wishes would be, don't show us if we've already invited them. Like, I don't need to see that name again in the list if they're already included. I guess they do that so that they're in your invitation list, and but it doesn't tell you if they accepted it or not. It says invited. And then I'm like, well, did Bobby accept it or did he not?
We don't know.
Right.
And by the way, I should mention that people are commenting already. So Christopher says hello from Metropolitan Detroit. Let us know where you're from. Say hello, ask questions. And Trisha has a question already. So let me just get to the question, and then we'll go into what we were going to talk about today, which is Trisha says, I'm on the employee side, not the entrepreneur side. How relevant would this program be to me for today? What do you think?
That's a great question. So I'm curious, Trisha, if on the employee side, do you work in a role that supports the company page? Meaning, do you work in marketing, in sales, in human resources, in anything where you have some vested interest in the company page? Let's say yes, you do. You work on the marketing side. You're managing the page. You're one of the page admins. Today we're going to be talking about inviting people to follow the page and different ways that you can do that. If you work in HR or recruiting, some of those people might be potential employees. They could be people that you're interviewing or that have applied to job postings on the page or you're having discussions with. And if you work in sales, obviously those people might be potential leads. And what I do, Bobby, I don't know if you do this, but whenever I'm in a discovery call with a person, I will make sure that we're connected on LinkedIn. Immediately after we get off the discovery call, I go onto LinkedIn and I invite them to follow my page. It's fresh in the mind at that point in time. And if they are interested in doing biz with me, there's a good likelihood they're going to accept that page invitation.
Right.
And that kind of tells me, okay, we're moving in the right direction, right?
Yeah, and again, that would be great for targeting too. If Sales Navigator allowed me to target the people I've interacted with recently, and say, hey, follow my page, I think that would be really good. I mean, in terms of, for me, like if you're an employee, I mean, the thing is leveraging LinkedIn and knowing how it all works is going to be really important. And company pages, business pages are going to be relevant, even if you're an employee, because you might have an organization that you're part of. You might have a side hustle that you're building. Maybe you're doing some things on the side, or maybe you know somebody. I think learning how company pages work and the fact that LinkedIn is investing time and energy into company pages to grow them, I think can definitely be relevant to Trisha as well. So yeah. and also it's relevant in terms of, what company page do you want to follow? How do you want to engage in those things? So something to think about.
Here's another point too for Trisha. Do you mind if I add one more thing, Bobby?
Yeah, please.
So Trisha, as an employee, I encourage employees to interact with their company pages. And I just finished this employee training session just before the call here today. And I was explaining this to them that LinkedIn doesn't discern engagement of employees versus non-employees. Engagement is engagement is engagement. And also when other people that are non-employees come and visit your page, and they see that the page is vibrant, there's a lot of likes, there's comments, there's replies back from the company page. Not only does it demonstrate a really positive culture at the company, but there's a psychology thing that occurs, and I kind of like to call it the trade show effect, Bobby. When you walk into a trade show floor and there's a bunch of those empty tables with salespeople and everybody's trying to make eye contact with you and you're avoiding them, right? And then you see that one table, it's really lively and people are talking, they're having fun. There's like a prize wheel, maybe there's popcorn or something going on. And you're kind of like, what's going on over there? That looks like fun. It's the same way when you come to a company page where employees are active in the page, in comments, and they're engaging, and the page is replying back. If I see a post that has like 70 likes and no comments, I'm probably not going to leave a comment. But if I see a post that has like 20 likes and 50 comments, I'm going to go, wow, this is an active post. What's going on here? So it's kind of that same way. So Trisha, you can help to support your company's efforts. And by the way, if you do so, the powers that be, the ones that are managing that page, they're going to go, wow, Trisha's like an awesome ambassador for our company. Look at her participating in discussions and helping to support the company, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. So for today, we only do this for half an hour once a month, but we want to dive into a specific topic each time. So Brenda, why don't you tell us what the topic we're going to dive into today is?
Sure. We're going to talk today about growing your page followers. And Bobby, do I have the ability to do a screen share in here, or would you have to do the screen share? How does that work? It's the first time I've used StreamYard.
Well, I can share a screen if you need me to.
Do you want to share your screen? Because I want to show people the technique of inviting connections. And we've talked a little bit about filters, but some people may not be familiar with how to use that. And as you share your screen, I'll kind of talk and walk people through that process. You will see this if you are a page admin. And my understanding, Bobby, is this is now starting to roll out where employees can invite up to 30 connections to follow a page. I've not seen that feature just yet. So I'm going to focus on the admin feature where we click on invite connections to follow the page. And by the way, if you are an admin of the page, you can do this on the mobile app as well. Or, just watch us during this call and then maybe later watch the playback and then have your company page open side by side. And you can actually kind of look at your page and use this technique. So what Bobby's doing right now, you're going to navigate to your company page for Bobby Umar. And then look at this guy. He's got 22,000 followers, Bobby. Impressive.
Yeah, thanks. Although, again, we talk about this a lot in terms of keeping them engaged is really challenging. So let's figure this out. Okay. So, I'm up to 10 now. Look at that. Okay.
Look at that. So that means people have accepted them, right? Because you said you had only left one. So we're going to click on invite connections. And then at this point, LinkedIn only gives you a handful of filters. Not too many on here, but you can filter people based on, current company, based on location, based on school, and based on industry. So let's say, Bobby, in your case, do you focus on a specific geographic area, or are you focusing on more industry, or what are you looking for?
I usually focus on industry and location. So for example, for location, I'll pick a city that, a lot of people know about, right? So I think, for example, I might put in Philadelphia. And get the people in Philadelphia to show up. And wherever I have in Philadelphia, then they'll show up on my connections and I can pick the ones that I want.
So when you go through the list and you're determining who to pick from that list, do you focus on people that you know? Do you focus on what you see in the headline? What do you do?
That's a great question. Depends on the month and how rushed I am. So if I'm in a rush, I'm just gonna do. But sometimes, there's ones but for me, a big thing is really who they are and whether I think because my page is about coaching. So do they look like somebody that would want to get coaching from me in terms of building their thought leadership brand across LinkedIn and other platforms? If so, then I'll invite them.
Okay, so cool. So one little thing I've learned, Bobby, because I agree with you, I wish we could do keyword searches and things like that. One
Absolutely.
thing, I don't know if I shared this technique with you or if I shared it with someone else. Scroll down in the list for a little bit and just scroll down a couple pages and then type in or do the control find. So on my keyboard, it's the control F. And then I'm going to look for people who have sales someplace in the list. If I type in the word sales, then I can go back up and I can find people that have sales someplace in their headline field.
That's a
So
nice little trick.
it's a little workaround for the keyword search because the only search that you can search for at the top is search by name.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a specific keyword that appears in the headline field, that's not going to appear in there. But if you scroll down, and you can do this for a little while, keep scrolling, and then control find and search for the keyword, then it will highlight that. So it's a little, I don't want to say a hack because that sounds negative, but it's a little workaround to finding keywords from headlines in there.
Yeah, look, I found someone, I put in the word sales and I found Edward in sales. And so, I love to help salespeople be better at that stuff. So I think that worked out really well.
Very cool.
Okay.
Awesome. So hopefully right there, whoever's watching, hopefully you're finding some value in this already. If you're finding this helpful, drop us a comment, let us know. Bobby, I see John Gray said Meller Marketing, it's a link. I think he might be referring to the employees inviting followers of the page, the up to 30. Are you familiar with that at all? Have you used that at all?
I have not, no. Tell me more about that one.
So it used to be that the only people that could invite connections to follow the page were people who were designated as page admins.
Right.
So if you're an admin, you get access to this admin view and you can invite connections to follow the page. And the benefit there is you could invite potentially everybody who works in your sales.
I only have me, myself as admin, so that's it.
Hey, if I were you, Bobby, I would add in a second person. It might be your spouse. It could be a business partner. It could be someone else. But the reason I would suggest that is if you ever get thrown into LinkedIn jail for who knows what, sometimes LinkedIn does it on a whim. You don't want to lose access to both your account and your business page. So if you are self-employed, if you're watching this, and if you're self-employed, add in a spouse, a family member, somebody that is a first level connection, add them in as a second user of your company page. That way, if you ever do get locked out of your LinkedIn account, somebody else can get in your page and manage it for you.
There we go. My lovely wife is part of it.
There you go. Right. And even let's say you win the lottery and you move to Maui. I don't like to say get hit by a bus because that's too morbid, but we don't want to be the only person who's on our page. We want to make sure that there are other people that can access that. So anybody who's an admin can use that invite connections feature. Now, LinkedIn recently rolled out the ability for employees of a page to invite connections without having to be an admin. My understanding is it's in organizations of a certain size that have that ability, and the 30 does still count against the 250 connections. So we want to make sure that the right people are inviting the right people if you're really trying to grow strategically on that company page followers.
Awesome. Thanks. Should I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, I think you can stop sharing it now. I always like to do these roadshow demos because we can tell people look on the right-hand side of the page, but I think when we show it up on screen and when we share some of these different techniques, I think helping to visualize that. And the cool thing, Bobby, is this is recorded so they can watch the playback later and they can do it again.
And here's a new question today showed up. I recruit for something very specific. Potential business owners, any fertile grounds to target? Thanks.
Ooh, potential business owners. Like, how do you know that there's somebody who's
people who want to start a business, I guess, right? Yeah, exactly. How do you know?
I would say kind of back up into the people that you figure out what the criteria are that tend to be indicators of potential future business ownership. And I'm making this up off the top of my head. It's probably people who are at a certain level within a corporate role, probably director level and above. They may be from specific types of industries or certain educational attainments. There may be activities that they are posting about on LinkedIn that create patterns of behavior that you can look at as well. If it were me, I'd probably talk to my current set of customers who are new business owners, and I might ask them questions to help me to uncover what are those patterns, what might lead me to other people that are like you that are potential business owners. I don't know. That's what I think, Bobby. What about you?
I mean, what I would do is I would probably do a poll on my personal profile and talk about, hey, have you thought about starting a new business? And start getting people enticing and do a couple polls to get people thinking about starting a business, or do you have a side hustle? Have you ever wanted to start your own business? Have you want to start a business, and what's stopping you? Like things like that. And from those people, whatever the answer, whoever answers engages, that's your target.
There you go. I like that.
Right.
And if you do a poll, by the way, I think some people are a little hesitant on replying to polls because they don't know if people can see that they respond or not. I might, in that poll, put a note in the post that says, note, the only person who can see your response is the page admin. These responses are anonymous otherwise. So that might take that pressure off of you to like, should I click the button or not? Right?
Yeah, I'm loving where you're getting all these questions. This is great. I think we the first few times we had a couple hiccups because we weren't actually putting it out there and pairing it to people. But now Anne's there and John's here. So another question from Joey: what's the most important feature of a company page? Oh, that's debatable.
Oh, well, I think. What do you want to go first, or do you want me to start?
Do I want to go first? Okay. My honest opinion is I think the banner is the most important piece because the banner. So, and I'll share my screen again to make the point because, the thing is when they go to my page, the first thing you see is this thing up here, right? I mean, this headline is fine, but the banner was enough for me to say, here's exactly who I am, what I do, and what I coach on. Right, because they're not going to see. Now let's say this view as a member, for example. Again, same thing. They see this first, then they see this, and then maybe they'll read the about section and whatnot, what I'm all about, and see posts. But they're going to see this stuff first. So for me, the banner is the thing that gets the first attention that I want. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Brenda?
Joey, it's really hard to answer like what is the most important thing on a company page because there's so many things that are important. I think having a company page is important so that you don't have that gray avatar next to your experience section. It creates some validity for you. The actual avatar itself, I would say it should be more of an avatar and not like the full logo because we can't really see it. It's so tiny on your profile. The banner, I agree with you, Bobby. It's important because it's kind of like a billboard. It catches people's attention right at the top. But then I think about posting is important too, because I don't know about you. Sometimes I land on a company page and it's got like 7,000 followers and the page has never posted. And I'm like, that's such a huge opportunity. There's 7,000 people that have raised their hand that have said, I want to follow this company. I want to learn more about your business. And they haven't posted anything. I mean, even something as simple as, thank you for giving our page a follow. Please visit our website for more news and events, like redirecting them where to go. I don't know. I might say the post, Joey, because if Bobby's going to say the banner, I'm going to say the post is the most important thing that you're posting regularly.
All right, so this is where Brenda and I disagree because look, I'm reading this right now, and the banner, I don't see your post, but I see a banner that says LinkedIn coaching for VIPs and sales leaders. Click sign up to join. Oh, you know what? I'm going to follow this page. Wow.
You're not even following it yet.
Oh my God. That's amazing. You invited me. That's fine. So that's
it's funny is you probably have a million connection requests that came in and it's probably buried on page 13.
I probably didn't see it. You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have another question today. Let me just keep it. There's so many questions. I like this. Forgive me if I missed it. Have you used the lead generation form on there yet? I would love to hear more. Oh, we were using that. So Brenda, you want to talk about that?
Oh, I'm not a fan of it because I feel like it's like we're tripping over ourselves on this. I mean, I go to my company page right now as an admin. I can't find it. I click on view as member and I can't see it because I already tested it out. So it's kind of hidden. I love the fact that they have this, but I wish that the feature itself had better utility and better usefulness to it. You can try it, but do keep in mind if people fill out the lead gen form that you do need to go to analytics and then look under leads to see if anyone has submitted the form. You don't get a notification and it's like 3 steps deep to get to it. On the front side of it, I mean, I've had mine set up for, I don't know, at least a month now. And the only lead I have is myself. So I don't really I'm not finding a lot of value in this myself right now. Unfortunately, I wish there was greater use of this, but I think we're kind of tripping over ourselves here and the technology is not really supporting it. That's what I think. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually used it only because I've been using the services form on my profile page, and
Mhm.
on that one, I was able to even create could get a good couple people to give me 5-star reviews on what I do. So I found, and that's right at the front of my profile. So you're right; it's very difficult to find the lead gen piece on your page. So it is challenging. So yeah, but again, if you do a good job of it and test it out, I mean, the more you test it out, maybe you'll find some success with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think some of it's when when LinkedIn rolls out new features, we have to kick the tires. We have to figure out how to use it. I usually don't recommend the new features until I know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, and what works, what doesn't work. Right now, I'm not feeling like there's a lot of potential here because I feel like there's so many hurdles to the form. Unfortunately, sorry, LinkedIn.
Yeah, no worries. And Ann says, I think the branding needs to be consistent on the LinkedIn company page. Make sure it's
Mhm.
complete graphics, what you do, and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I love the fact we have lots of questions. We were actually going to dive into a topic, but we only have
No,
like
we have to keep
five.
going with the questions. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, now there's no more questions. If you have more questions, put them in there, plug them in. That's great. I can see them. But in the meantime, Brenda, we were going to talk about dive into something. So why don't you?
Yeah.
What were
So
we going to talk about?
Yeah, we started talking about, how to grow your page followers, and we started doing the demonstration to show you how to use the invite connections feature. So if you're joining us a little bit late, go watch the video after we're done and you can watch from the beginning. And Bobby shows on screen how we use the filters to invite people to follow the page. There's a couple other ways that you can encourage people to follow your page. And one of which is when you post on your company page, tell people, if you found this post helpful, please follow our page for more news and events like this. That's an easy way. What I will do is often after I connect with people on LinkedIn, I will send them a follow up message and I'll say, thanks, Bobby, for accepting my invitation. I'd also like to encourage you to follow the Meller marketing page for more LinkedIn strategy tips. And I give the link in there to make it easy for you to come over to my page. In addition to that, I'm a LinkedIn premium user. I actually have Sales Navigator, and there's an away message that they give you. It's kind of like an out of office.
Yeah,
And Bobby, you know this because I'm using this right now on my profile to promote this event. So
right.
after we're done with this event, I'm going to swap that away message out and I'm going to put on there, thanks for your message. I'll respond between 1 to 2 business days. In the meantime, follow Meller Marketing on LinkedIn for more
Right.
LinkedIn strategy tips. And it's an easy way. It's not automated, it's not against the rules, it's a LinkedIn feature, but it's an easy way to bring people back and to drive more followers to your page. So there you have it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think sorry, let's bring it the train of thought here for a second. I'm distracted by the next question because 3 more questions just popped up here. Can the
Okay.
services page link to the company page or vice versa?
Not
I think
not
so.
right now. There is something that's rolling out on company pages, which is products, and you can create a products
Right.
page that is linked to a company page. But the services page sits on a personal profile. I know you said you're using them, Bobby. I'm not really using. I have it set up, but I'm not really getting a lot of leads generated or inquiries generated through that. I actually get more leads generated through posting and by communicating with people on LinkedIn that I use the services page. But right now, my understanding is the services page sits on a profile versus within a company page. Eventually, you should get the products feature. I think right now it's limited to software and technology, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, another question. Can company pages have a URL in the contact section, like on the personal page where we can collect email addresses?
So great question. So you're referring to in the context section. So if I'm going onto my page right now because I'm going to talk through this as I'm explaining this process. So there's an about section in your company page. It's also called overview. You can have up to 2,000 characters in total in that about section. If you go to my page right now for Meller Marketing, you're going to see at the top it says welcome to the LinkedIn company page for Meller Marketing, and then I list a bulleted list of my products and services. Then I have contact Brenda at mellermarketing.com, and I have a web page, upcoming webinars and events. Now, if you wanted to, Christopher, what you could do is say, join my email list for Zoom and virtual presentation tips, and then put a web page where they can go and visit. Now, my understanding, Bobby, is LinkedIn is still not making links clickable in the body section of description or about or on your personal profile, your about statement. But if you go and visit the page on the LinkedIn mobile app, if you have, I believe it's an iPhone, the links are clickable. So it could drive people there. Alternatively, Christopher, what you could do, there's an action button on your page. And if you go in under the admin settings, click on the pencil that says edit page. And underneath page info, there's a link that says buttons. Button name, there's choices. Contact us, learn more, register, sign
Right.
up, or visit website. So if you're trying to encourage people to sign up to join your email list, I would choose sign up as the button and then put that to your email subscription link. So hopefully that helps out. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, I think again, the sign up button is your best way to get people to collect. The lead gen form also is probably a way to collect people's. Does the lead gen form give it their email address or just their contact, their LinkedIn profile?
So I'm going to click onto mine to read you what I have. And actually, you can't see it from the page. You have to download the file and it goes into a
Wow.
CSV. It's really cumbersome. And the only
Yeah.
person I have right now is me. So it says these are the fields that you collect from lead gen: company name, job title, last name, first name, email address,
There we
and
go.
then submitted time and email consent. So have they given you permission for that? So there we have it.
Okay. And the last question, because I know we want to be mindful of your time, Brenda, is what do we think about LinkedIn audio events versus LinkedIn Lives? Well, that's a great question. I'm a huge audio guy, but before then, I was a huge live stream guy. I used to do live stream 3 times a week, so I've done over 200 live streams. But what I can tell you is that I've had far greater success with building my business and building trust with the audios than I have with the live streams. Well, I think the main reason is because with this one, it's while there's comments, which is coming, which is great, having people on stage with you in audio, and it becomes this conversation that builds greater trust than having like this be like a podcast that goes out. But there is great power in live in the sense that the video personality of us is a far greater connector as well. So there's advantages of both of them. But if I had to pick one that I go with, more frequently, I do them both. I do live stream, I do audio. But if I had to pick one to go with all the time, I would do audio events.
Now, do you have access to LinkedIn audio, Bobby?
That's a great question. In fact, just today there was an announcement that they're now expanding it to other new creators. And so I went to the page and said, "Oh, thank God, 10,000."
You have it now? You have LinkedIn audio,
and I don't have it. No, so I updated my app and I logged out, logged back in. I still don't have it, but God willing, it's going to happen.
So, and my answer is kind of related to that. And so if you're asking, do I prefer LinkedIn audio events versus LinkedIn Live? Well, I don't have access to LinkedIn audio, so I can't tell you if I prefer. I mean, I've been on them before. I think they're kind of cool because I don't have to be like hair and makeup ready. I can just like throw a ponytail in and jump on camera. And then there's more opportunity for people in the audience. You can bring them up. People can raise hand. They can ask questions, things like that we can't do in a LinkedIn Live. I don't know. I kind of feel like LinkedIn Lives are similar to Clubhouse, and there was, definitely an increase in Clubhouse use during the pandemic, and it's kind of waned down. And we're hearing they're laying off people at Clubhouse right now because the participation is dipping. LinkedIn, I know, did a slow rollout because they were trying to make sure it worked correctly. And then after they did the beta test, they're incorporating feedback. I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. Are they going to roll it out further? Are they going to pull it back? Are they going to kill it entirely? I don't know what's going to happen with it. So, and unfortunately, I can't really give you a straight answer if I prefer one over the other because I don't have LinkedIn audio. I have LinkedIn Live, and similar to Bobby, I've done probably 200 events on there. So hopefully that helps you out. But if you do have access or if you get invited to a LinkedIn audio event, I would definitely try it. They're a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, it's always good to know which ones work best versus others. And also, I mean, doing them live streams the other thing about live streaming, doing it on your company page is great because it's a great way to promote your company page and attract people. So I've done that as well. So it looks like we're over time. Brenda, thank you so much for being here. Any final thoughts or things you want the audience to know about?
I would just say for our audience that's watching today, we do this the second Wednesday every month, right? Second Wednesday, I think is what we're doing.
The second Wednesday of every month at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, very good. So I want you guys to mark your calendars. If you enjoyed the event today, go into your calendar and just put a recurring event, LinkedIn Live company page discussion. And if you go to the Thought Leadership branding page on LinkedIn, that's where you can RSVP to the event to actually add it to your calendar, and you'll get the live stream link to come and join us. If you're watching this and you enjoyed it, we would love it if you could share the video along with your network. And by the way, if you haven't shared on LinkedIn this week, this month, this year, that counts as a post. Tag me and Bobby in when you share it, and maybe tell people something that you learned. You never know when that message is going to help someone in your network, and then you've just created social media karma. So there you have it.
Awesome. We have some amazing people. We already have people thanking us for our time and impressed with our answer. That's great. Thanks, Brenda. As always, follow Brenda and Brenda as well as Meller Marketing. Follow Bobby Umar's leadership development page. You can also follow Thought Leadership Brand Club. If you want to join the Thought Leadership Brand Club, let us know, because we have an amazing community of people who are all helping each other out, because a rising tide lifts all boats. So if you want to learn more about that, get extra weekly calls and these live streams and more, let us know. All right. Thanks, Brenda. Have yourself a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Bobby. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Take care.